Julius Malema said that the ICC should issue a warrant of arrest against Benjamin Netanyahu. So what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are very much appreciated. So Malema, who is a South African, we've spoken about him a few times, a number of times. Very strong public figure, very strong political figure with his party. The EFF has made a very strong speech with regard to Palestine and Israel. Let's listen and we're going to make a comment after. Okay, let's go.
With occupiers ourselves to date, we know what the people of Palestine are going through, because when they get removed in Gaza by force, to us it's not theory. We lived forced removals ourselves here in South Africa. Okay,
very clear. We know what's happening in Gaza. The idea of removing people of Gaza, it's not theory for us, because we in South Africa understand what this means. Mr. Malema here clearly is talking about what's happened during apartheid. During apartheid, they were removed. Okay, black people of South Africa were removed out their homes, removed out their land. They were forced to live into, spaces that were designated for black people. Yeah, they could not go live where their ancestors lived because white people took over. They could only stay in specific areas. So I say, we know, we understand what's happening. It's not theory. This is something we've seen in the past. Let's go.
We know what is torture. We've been tortured. Till today, we remain a traumatized nation. We support Palestine, and we make no apology about supporting Palestine. Our support for Palestine is not a calling for killing Jewish people.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. Let's go.
Hamas, that we said we are supporting, that will arm. It must know that the EFF is not in a struggle of killing Jewish people, of killing pregnant Jewish women and children.
EFF is not in a struggle of killing Jewish people, pregnant women and children. Very interesting. He wants to make a difference between supporting Palestine and the actions on the ground, and basically separating themselves from Hamas and their work. We support the Palestinians, we support Gaza, but we're not in the business of doing harm to the Jewish people. Very interesting.
Do not involve the innocent.
So basically, fellas, EFF is a political party of Julius Malema. He's the founder. Julius Malema worked many years with ANC. The ANC is the political party of Nelson Mandela, that was politically born and was a student of Mama Winnie Mandela. Very strong with his position, very strong with his figure, very intelligent, even though many people don't give him credit for that. Let's go.
In your fight, always as we fight Palestine, Israeli government, the apartheid Zionist Israeli government, let us know where our target is. It is everything else that represents Zionism, everything else that represents apartheid Israel must be shot down and dropped. But that should never be confused with killing of Jewish people.
So clearly his target is, his name here, his target is Zionism. He's fighting the apartheid Israeli government. He's not fighting the Jewish people.
So for you not to make a mistake, you may want to familiarize yourself with the literature. So that you don't go around people's door to door and say, no, the Jews are killing Palestinians, they were going to kill the Jewish people. We're not killing any Jewish person. We're not supporting any organization that says it wants to kill Jewish pregnant women and children. We're not part of that nonsense. a revolutionary at all material times must be guided by the feelings of love. We love humanity.
We love humanity.
We love our women and our children.
We love our women and our children.
How do you bomb a hospital?
Okay.
Even if the president of Hamas ran into that hospital, is hiding in that hospital, you can't bomb that hospital.
You can't bomb an hospital.
How do you bomb a refugee camp? Even if Hamas ran into that refugee camp, you are in no position to bomb a refugee camp.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. How do you bomb an hospital? He says even if the president of Hamas ran into the hospital, you cannot bomb the hospital. Because obviously an hospital has got so many innocent people. Just because you're targeting one person, you should sacrifice everybody else. Does that even make any sense? Because basically within international laws, like I said before, I'm going to say it again, wars have rules. You don't just war anyhow, okay? There are, structures, some things you don't do. You cannot bomb an hospital. It's not authorized. You cannot bomb civilians. You cannot attack schools and civilian infrastructure. You can't do that. Children, women, you cannot do that. It's unacceptable. It doesn't make any sense. What you can target is military target. You cannot bomb an hospital. And now he's blaming, clearly, the Israeli government for bombing hospitals in Gaza. Okay, and justifying it, saying that people of Hamas are hiding into hospitals.
Comrades, those guys are involved in ethnical cleansing. They want to wipe off the Palestinians.
Wow, that's a big statement. They want to wipe off the Palestinians. Wow.
This is a genocide. It's an international crime. And ICC must issue a warrant of arrest against Netanyahu.
Wow.
Why do you issue warrant of arrest on Putin, who has not done worse than what Netanyahu has done to the people of Palestine?
Very interesting, fellas. Very, very interesting. He said the ICC must issue a warrant of arrest to Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the Prime Minister of Israel. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, must issue a warrant of arrest against Benjamin Netanyahu. He says, how do you issue a warrant of arrest against Vladimir Putin, who has not done the quota of what Netanyahu has done, but you don't issue an ICC arrest for Netanyahu? Very interesting. I want to know how you feel about this. I mean, we all know that Vladimir Putin was hit with a warrant of arrest. What was the reason? When Russia did an attack into Ukraine, there are some areas that are completely Russian-speaking. They speak Russian. Culturally, mentally, they feel Russian. So what Russia did was, after they took that part of Ukraine, they took children. Okay, they took them away from that area and sent them to Russia. The goal, as per Russia, was to take the kids away, to move them from a war area to a peaceful area, to avoid them being damaged, collateral damage during war. So Russia said the reason why we took the children is because we wanted to spay them, to put them in a place where they're going to be safe, so they don't become a target during war, because they felt like the Ukrainians, who naturally don't like those Russian-speaking Ukrainians, would feel no problem bombarding those kids. And the reason why they did that, they moved them in order to avoid that accident to happen. And then the ICC said, we are issuing a warrant of arrest against Putin for taking away children away from their families. And Russia justified that by saying they took the kids away because they tried to spay them. I want you to tell me, did Russia do good or bad by moving the kids away from, the war area? So should have Russia left the kids in war area to avoid getting a warrant of arrest from the ICC? Or should have Russia moved the kid away to avoid loss of life of innocent children? Now, I want to know about you. So, Malema says, why do you issue a warrant of arrest against Putin, who has done nothing? Nothing compared to what's happening in Gaza. Why? What is this? You know, it's very interesting, fellas. As you can see, many people for many years have said nothing against Israel because many were scared, because most of the time when you say something about Israel, usually it's taken in a very negative context. It's, you know, transformed into a hate speech or anything like that. But like Malema said, we have nothing against the Jewish people. We just everything against the Zionism, which is an idea of supremacy, feeling that you are superior to other people. Everybody in the world deserves a fair treatment, a fair judgment. It makes no sense to go and bombard hospitals and because you say there's somebody from Hamas in hospital. What about the people that are in there, that are innocent, that have done nothing, that went there for a headache, for a stomachache? You know, what about the pregnant women and the children and the elderly people? Don't they mean anything just because you want to target one person? I mean, if you can do that, I'm sure you can wait for them to move away or to go to an isolated area where you can take them out. So Julius Malema's speech is around that. We cannot accept this happening to fellow human beings while we're still breathing. It makes absolutely no sense. We cannot just stay quiet saying it's okay. You can't say anything. Again, fellas, I want to reiterate here that Julius Malema is not the government of South Africa. He is a president of a political party who can say whatever he likes. And that doesn't necessarily affect South Africa in any way. And Malema believes he's going to be the future president of South Africa. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure to read from you. I want to know. Julius Malema said that the ICC should issue a warrant of arrest against Benjamin Netanyahu. Let me know how you feel about it. Are you okay with this? Are you agreeing with Julius or not? God bless.